Geezers, the patch is here. As you can see, in my client, I've got the option of the token shop, a Series 4 card, Agent Coulson, which is brand new. It's going to cost me 3,000 collector tokens. I can pin it as well if I want this just to stay locked in. If I don't have the tokens right now, but might down the line, save it for a rainy day, I can pin it and not unlock him, but then just unlock it when I have the 3,000 credits. Also, we've got the artists have started being credited on some of the variants. We've got the Dan Hip variant for Wong here, and there's also the Cyber Holiday bundle for 3 weeks. 7,500 gold. Bruv, that is a lot of money. That is just under £90. Holy moly. I would imagine when you crunch the numbers, it's worth it because you're getting 3,000 collector tokens, 9,500 credits. If you want to do the maths on this, let me know. Let's look at the patch notes. So there's balance changes too. Disclaimer, I'm slightly intoxicated. It's 11:30 p.m. in the UK. I just watched England beat Wales in the World Cup. So just come home to record the video. As it says here, the patch highlights, we've got collector tokens now, starting at collection level 500. And yeah, they've introduced new cards, 10 cards in Series 4, including a Coulson being one of those, slightly mumbling. And then also Series 5, we've got 6 new cards, which includes Thanos, Galactus, and 4 others. General updates. Card boosters no longer appear as rewards from collector caches and collector's reserves. They've been replaced by collector tokens. Big W. No more boosters in collector caches and reserves. Improved bad luck protection for collectors caches and reserves. Going forward, players at the same collection level will have nearly the same number of cards. This is really good because, for example, I completed my collection at like 3,300, whereas some other people completed their collection around 2,700, which just feels really bad, especially if you're spending money on the game. So basically, you're going to be getting new cards more frequently than you were previously on average. When you favorite a card variant, you now have the option to automatically swap that variant into all decks that contain that card. So it's just a little quality of life feature. If you guys aren't familiar with this, I can just show you real quick. Let's say I've got a favorite variant, this Ant-Man. I can go over to this little button here, and you can see I can pick which one. I can press the star button on this, and then I guess in every deck that I already have in my deck list, the Ant-Man's just going to swap to this particular Ant-Man. I don't think I have any Ant-Mans, but you get the gist of what that means if you're not sure. During a game, players can now tap their opponent's avatar or their own to view player titles in the pop-up avatar menu. Nice, you can just see the title, not just in the pre-game screen, but also during the game. The end turn button is disabled for a few seconds when your opponent snaps. This should make it harder to accidentally accept a snap. Nice little quality of life feature. Not something I've ever experienced, that bug. I would consider that a bug, but yeah, that just makes a lot of sense. Performance improvements for app, launching load times, lovely, and added support for sign-in with Apple on PC. This is really nice. You were before able to still connect your Apple accounts to PC, but you would have to use a Google account. So now it's just a nice way of doing it. You know, you don't have to bother making a Google email address if you're just on Apple exclusively, which is really nice. Art and visual effects. Infinity border visuals have been improved. Cards upgraded to Infinity Wavecaller can confirm. Let's have a little gander at what the Infinity cards now look like. If we go to quality and look to the highest, this is the new Infinity border. I'm sure we can all agree that is a lot nicer. Of course, I don't have one on hand for the old one, but the old one just was super disappointing. But this is actually looking super spicy. Very much feels better than the one that's one lower than it, which is this one. This is the one that's one lower. This is definitely an upgrade to that. So that's really nice that the Infinity border is the nicest border in the game. Definitely happy with that. Flare modifiers earned from Infinity Split now have a chance to roll one of 7 different colours. Red, green, blue, purple, black, white, and gold. Flare modifiers unlocked before this update will now rotate through multiple colours. Alright. So flare modifiers. I want to say if we look at our America Chavez to give you an idea of the flare one is not this one. That's the sparkles. We do have a flare one somewhere. I'm sure of it. I've upgraded her so many bloody times. Maybe it's actually I think. Let's search by energy. I know which one I have. I know it's the one that I split most recently. This one here, flare. This is the flare modifier. So at the moment, previously it was only red, like pink available. Unless it's just like, I think the flare modifier is just changing color. I'm pretty sure it didn't used to do that before. I think it was just a set color. I feel like it was like a purpley greeny, a purpley reddy. Guys, I'm intoxicated. Allow it, man. Allow it. I hope it's fine still. So that's nice. Card emojis have received a bit of polish to make them a little easier to use and see. So if you're not sure in the middle of a game, you can actually click on your opponent's cards, for example, and give them like, oh my god, I love this. Like you can give a little love heart emoji, for example. So they're being easy to use and see. Logos have been added to the cards and location power modifiers in game. Tap on a card or location to see what's modifying it. Alright, happy days. Alright, audio, new card sound for Magic, new sounds for Ego, Central Park, Pegasus, The Raft, and Domain. And here's the spicy bit. The balance changes. Andra's been nerfed. Get in. And it's the nerf that I predicted. 2 energy, 1 power, down to 2 energy, 0 power. She's lost a point. She's still pretty flipping good. I would even argue she's still OP. So yeah, very nice change. She's lost a point. Very well deserved. Destroyer's also lost a point. Destroyer's making big waves, lowering his power by 1 will give opponents more of a chance to win the location he's played to. A nice nerf. Destroyer started off at like 14 stats and no one was ever playing it, and then it got buffed to 16 and everyone was playing it, so this should be good. Mysterio's been nerfed. Flipping fantastic. Mysterio was super OP. It was 2 energy, 5 stats, now it's 2 energy, 4 stats. Still a very good card. Mysterio had more power than other 2-cost cards because of how many slots he takes up at other locations. However, in many cases, those extra 2 0 illusions end up being quite beneficial, so Relengo is best power 1. Definitely, you can use Carnage on a 0 power Mysterio. You can buff it with Nova. There's so many ways that these illusions end up getting more points. That's a really nice nerf. Sarah's also been nerfed by a point. Sarah is slightly too good right now, so we're shaving a bit of power. Really, really happy with all of these nerfs. These are probably the 4 cards I wanted to see nerfed most in Marvel Snap. So I'm really, really happy to see these changes. We've got a couple more. Onslaught's ability now stacks additively. I have no idea what that means, mate. With effects like Mystique or Onslaught Citadel rather than exponentially. Okay, so what I'm assuming this means is it's adding it on as opposed to going into like crazy powers. So I would imagine what this means is it's much more difficult to hit the 2 billion number, which was breaking the game. Let's see what they're saying. When you start stacking Onslaught's doubling effect, things get out of hand very quickly. We want to avoid situations where players are waiting for cards like Ironheart to play their animations for long stretch of time. So we're changing the stacking to be additive instead of exponential. Bruv. Alright, let's just do a little Google search, guys. As you can see, it's a bit of a one-take thing. A substance added to something in smaller quantities to improve or preserve it. So whether this means the number is changed or not, characterized by or produced by addition. So it's adding on things. I think this means it's not it's going to be less points, which is fine because like Onslaught was just ridiculous before, right? Hitting 2 billion. So that's nice. And Nick Fury's been added to Series 3. So Nick Fury is now in Pool 3. Nick Fury was previously a Battle Pass card. So we've got to wait another month still for Miles, that would suggest. Bug fixes, improve French, improve translations, fix arts, improve messaging when you try to log into an older build, fix the soft lock that occurred if you'd not previously set a name. I'll just let you guys read these ones, to be honest, at your own leisure. There's known issues list as well. That is the patch notes from a slightly intoxicated Specimen, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you guys like the look of the new flare. This is like the most rare split. And also the new Infinity border I'm definitely a huge fan of. What do you guys think about the patch notes? Is there any cards which you think escaped the nerfs which should have been nerfed? Is there anything which you think should have been buffed? Because there's not a single buff. There's one criticism of this patch, there's not a single buff. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one. Like it if you did. And deuces. Bye.